So, these people at the Hope Center are basically cruel and inhuman as far as I can tell. And they give zero fucks for your conditions or your, tale of woe or your physical disabilities or mental issues or anything else. So it turns out, I've recorded all these videos. I upload this shit. This is what I've been doing for years in order to process my life as I've been falling through space, homeless, trying to find something to work and blah, 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 and losing everything I had and our mind and everything else. So, apparently I have always tried to be very conscious of what I'm shooting and only shoot myself. But I guess there was a video that had people in the background or people in it, and that's a HIPAA violation. And of course, I had no idea about that. And so I think they make up new rules just to be punitive based on the individual, whether they like them or not. Because all these people are graduates of the fucking Hope Center, treatment program. And they all have their own issues and not particularly well trained or professional. And they don't know fuck all about trauma. And then they expect you to be grateful for whatever the fuck they're doing, when they don't know how it really should work, and they've never been on Medicaid in New York or Boston or Colorado or California. But we piss off people wherever we go. We get in trouble when we're just being ourselves. And this is the story of my life. So I was able to get my bag back with all the shit in it, or at least what remains of it. I haven't gone through it to see if there's anything missing. And we now must carry this thing wherever we go. All kinds of bullshit about locker agreement, and you shouldn't put anything in the locker. Yes, you had a locker agreement. And I'm like, I can't carry this this bag. It's physically impossible for me to carry. So I was trying to get into a dorm. I said, as an undiagnosed autistic, it would be very helpful to my mental well-being and physical health if I knew I need regularity. I need some sort of consistency and structure and patterns, right? Things that I do, even if they're bullshit things, because I have nothing to talk about or think about or do anything that I want. But at least if I could, get up at 5:30 when they roust you out of bed and go to the Thorntons and get a cup of coffee and sit on the bench by the Lextran until breakfast, and then go eat that and figure out how to piss away the next 4 hours or something, that would be okay. But under the current circumstances, I can't deal with it. So I was trying to get into a dorm, hoping that I would know where I had a bed to sleep and wouldn't have to do this fucking thing with standing online in the mad race and getting your thing on the floor and blah blah blah. And I would have a place to put my bag because I'm physically unable to carry this thing. Last time they sent me out to the Ridge trying to do some inpatient thing and psych thing, and I thought it sounded like a better idea than sleeping on the floor if I got 3 or 5 days. Maybe there's some meds out there that I don't know about. I don't know. But somebody's got to see you first, and you got to get a diagnosis, and then you got to try it, and then you got to see how it works. And people get on these goddamn psych med roller coasters. I've read crazymeds.com for years before I went on Wellbutrin years ago. And it's a nightmare of a cycle. Can be. So I'm not just going to fucking take Seroquel or Abilify or whatever the fuck because that's the latest, pill du jour. I'd like a bit more circumspection and personal care. How about that? But that shit doesn't exist around here. I've never seen such a niggardly fucking system in all my goddamn days. And just lack of compassion and understanding, and they don't give a fuck. So I was told that I needed to go get gainful employment. I don't know why they want every motherfucker to work. When you mention SSDI or disability, it's like you're a goddamn criminal. I've been paying into that fucking system for 45 goddamn years, right? It's time for them to pay me back. But when you say I'm trying to get disability, that was the first reason that they gave me for not being allowed in a dorm, trying to get what I need. I said, I'm trying to do everything I can to normalize my life, because this is going to be my life from now on. I have no family. I have no home. I have no help. I have no friends. I have no nothing. So I'm trying to make this tolerable for me because currently it's intolerable. They don't give a fuck. So the first reason they gave me was that I was trying to get disability and not actively looking for a job. You got people laying up in these goddamn dorms that don't do anything all day, and they're not looking for work and they don't have a job. So different requirement for Steve Cobb than other people. Woo, my neck pops, and this shit's been going on with me for 9 years, and I haven't seen a doctor to find out what it is or a diagnosis or any help, right? They want to put me on meds. I don't think I need meds. I need a place. I'm highly affected by my environment. It's all in my body and in my mind, this complex PTSD. So if I could regularize my environment and it wasn't so chaotic and I didn't have to wear goddamn earplugs all the time, and I could work on my body and do some exercises consistently or something, and maybe see a therapist once in a while, and go to a doctor and start addressing all the things that have befallen my body over the last 5.5 years of Thailand, or 5.5 years of being homeless and 2 years trapped in Thailand, maybe I could be okay. But all they care about is, you got to keep your goddamn bag with you all the time, everywhere you go. And so now we're going to have this bag on our shoulders, schlepping around trying to find a goddamn job. Well, how do we do that? I don't have a resume anymore. They're all locked up on Dropbox. They've got 550 gigs of my shit that they're holding hostage because they made me a team and quintupled their price. And I don't have a dollar to my name to get anywhere. Am I supposed to walk everywhere? How does that work? How the fuck do you stand yourself up from this? Because I haven't been able to do it. In 5 years of trying, we went from Lexington to Boston to Colorado Springs to California to Bangkok and back to Lexington. And I'm still, unemployed and broken and needing help. Can't find it. So, another day. Ciao.